everyone, my name is Hayze, and today we are here to talk about the Big Brother 18 cast. With me today, we have Brownage, the
Hi.
hero, the man, the myth, the legend. So Brownage,
Yeah.
cast was just released. We got 12 out of 16 players. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. There's four people turning, obviously.
Yeah, the 4 returnees, there's a bunch of speculation, lists, things of that nature going on. So, what's it called? There's 2 lists out of people. What's it called? The first list is Ian, Derek, Davon, and Vanessa. To be honest, I don't like that list. I don't like Ian as a... well, I liked Ian. The problem is it brings back a lot of Dan should win talk. And Derek coming back, I feel like he's just going to tarnish his legacy. I feel like there's a lot of people in here who will be very against Derek as a player.
And also, I don't know about, I like Devon as and she didn't really do much. I don't know. People are coming back, I don't think.
Yeah, there's speculation about like the coach's twist being back. And I don't think it will be back. It doesn't, because like there's a lot of precedent down of like, yeah, Davon is what's it called? Like, who wants to win the week 3 HOH if it's just gonna get null voided?
Yeah.
And so like, and obviously they can't change it up because like you want the coaches to be a thing for at least a couple weeks. But you can't give 3 weeks because then there's a chance that a coach just gets completely decimated and you lose a house guest off of that. The other list that they have is Frank, Nicole... Oh wait, I said Davon on the other one. Yeah, Frank, Nicole,
Yeah.
Davon, James. Audrey was the one on the other one, and really if she is cast, I wouldn't be happy because I don't think it's really for a game player because she did awful in Big Brother 17.
She basically gave up near the end.
Yeah, she's one of those players like Devin from season 16, where you start off really strong, you're a huge strategist right at the beginning, and then you go out there, and after you get your ass kicked, you give up. I don't like those players. I don't think anyone likes those players, and that's exactly what Audrey did. She kind of she went in the DR and all that stuff, and it's like it's not entertaining. It's a desperate grab for attention when you know you're going to be out of the house pre-jury. I didn't like it. And then, so this new list, Frank coming back, I'd be fine with. It's just that he's like the Joe Anglum of Big Brother. He was either nominated or HOH. He never voted with the majority, except for Ian Terry winning. And so it's like, it kind of makes the season a little bit less interesting if you have the same guy going up every single week, and maybe he changes that about himself, but I don't see it. And then to see Nicole come back, the thing about Nicole is like she wasn't entertaining at all. She was just like she was like that last glimmer of hope that the detonators would get decimated, and it never happened. So seeing Nicole come back would be just awful, because it'd be a third shot. Like, she's already been given 2. I don't think she deserves a third.
I feel like it'd be a waste of space.
Yeah, she doesn't deserve a third. She got 2, and she's still in like one of the worst seasons of all time.
Yeah, and she went out 2 weeks after.
Yeah, James coming back would be great in my opinion, because of the fact that like
James was entertaining.
He was entertaining, and he wouldn't like be like a Dan or a Boogie in the house where you're in control the entire time because you've been a strategist, you've been able to play the game well. Like, that's the problem I had with Ian and Derek coming back, if those are real, is that they will just control the house because they've won the game, they're great strategists.
That's just not fun to watch.
No, it's part of the thing of like, yeah, Dan came back and he did great, he was entertaining as hell, but he just, like, he was just too controlling of the season and too big of the star, and like you don't see any of those new players, excluding Ian from Big Brother 14, like what's it called, like standing out. And the same things with Big Brother 13. They brought back a bunch of returnees then, and they were all not super entertaining, and none of those newbies were very cool. to say the least.
That was like a black cast.
Yeah, outside of the returnees. So, like, that's why I was a little disappointed to be hearing. But if they're bringing back players that are, like, deserve a second shot, like James, and were entertaining but not amazing players that have room for improvement, like Brittany, for example, in Season 14, not a great player in her first season, really got decimated by the Brigade, and then she came back and showed everyone that she needed the biggest move of the entire series, Dan's funeral, to take her out. So, yeah, that's basically it. Any other words about the returning players?
Huh?
Any other words about the returning players, Brownage?
Not really. I mean, I do agree that they have to have, like, they have to be somewhat into the game. They can't just be, like, an early boot or whatever.
Yeah.
At least near the end, won a few competitions or whatever, and was fairly liked, at least.
Yeah. So, now we're going to get on to the cast here. We're going to start off with going female to male, alphabetically. So we're going to start off with Bridgette Dunning. Now, Bridgette, some of the things I wrote down for her, she is 24 from California and a traveling nurse. She, in her interview, she was shown to be energetic. She is, like, a fan that's addicted to the show. She has a boyfriend, so no showmance there. And, she said her job makes her able to adjust to the situations, which is pretty good. To, like, situations at the house, since she's a traveling nurse, she said, like, that she has to get into an area and, like, identify stuff and, like, figure out the best possible solution. Stuff like that. She said she's a bad liar, though, which is really bad for Big Brother. You kind of need to lie at least once, bar, like, 45 times. Like, that's just
You can go the whole game without lying. It's impossible.
Yeah, you're gonna get... Because people will start to, like, not need you if you're gonna not be able to lie. Like, if you're in an alliance and you're trying to, like, blindside someone with her vote, and she can't lie, then that's not good.
It's gonna be hard.
And she said she's not gonna try to imagine too far ahead, which is, like, really good. Because, like, players who think... It's like an argument between players that think in the moment and players that think, like, far ahead. Like, I don't know which strategy is better, but she just outlined that she's not gonna think too far ahead. And she said she liked to voice her opinions. I think she said she wants to be quieter about them, though. And in the question, Jeff Schroeder was asking every single house guest, would you rather lose and be loved or win and be hated? And she said lose and be loved. So Brownage, what are you thinking for Bridgette this season?
Well, I mean, if she can't lie, then she's not going to make it very far.
Yeah. What did you think? Do you think that she'll do well? Do you think she fits in with the cast? Like,
I mean, there's not really, it's not really anyone that really fits in. I mean, it's kind of a hard question.
But do you see like a majority of people that you think will like? What do you see from like the atmosphere of the house? I guess would be the question. Like, because I felt like this is going to be a very showmancy house, and for her to not be because like most of them were saying they're single.
She's going to be on the outs, I think.
Yeah, that's my feeling too. She said she was like, obviously having a boyfriend, but like, this house is really young. You know, they were getting into the age of Big Brother where every house is basically really young. Last season we had the youngest average house. The average age of the house was the youngest ever. So what's it called? We're getting onto an age of younger house guests, and you know, the last two seasons haven't really been showmancy seasons. Big Brother 16 having just Hayden and Nicole, which really wasn't a showmance, more like a flirt dance.
Kind of boring.
Yeah, it wasn't. They weren't dynamic. And then Shelly and Clay got broken up after 6 weeks. Austin Lee. By far, two of the worst house guests ever. Just in terms of entertainment and in terms of people that are fun to watch, just awful. And then we have, what's it called? Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know if she's gonna fit in well.
Yeah.
I mean, she follows the fact that a lot of them are really energetic, and a lot of them are fans, which is something that's good. Like, they've at least seen the show. Like, a lot of people have said they've watched a full season, which is good, because this may be recruits, but,
how many seasons did she say she's seen?
She said she's a fan, and I think she said something along the lines of being addicted to the show.
Alright, so that's at least more than 2.
Yeah, you know.
Which is good, at least.
Yeah. She said lose and be loved. Is this a good, like, mentality for someone going into the game that will do well?
No, because you don't care. I feel like you just don't care then.
I think that it's like
It's not bad. It's not good.
I don't think she doesn't care. I
But
think
at
it's
least,
more that she just doesn't want everyone
yeah.
to be hated by the audience. Like if she was
It's fan favorite at least.
if she was to go out of the game and walk out and be booed after winning, whereas if you get voted out third and you get what's it called? Where if you go out third and you get cheered upon by like everybody, which would you rather have?
Probably cheered. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But if
So
you want to be, if you want to be loved, it's kind of hard to make like big kind of moves that'll make you hated, but and stuff.
yeah, a lot of these house guests were saying win
Yeah.
and be hated. There
Yeah.
are a lot of determined people in there this season.
I hate that. I hate that.
Really determined people? You don't like that?
I don't know, because if they're all going for the money, it just kind of, like they aren't trying to have like just I don't know like
Yeah, no
well,
Johnny Max there this season, I think.
yeah. I mean, it's not fun.
So, official prediction, Brownage. Do we want to do pre-merge, finalists, pre-jury, jury, or finalist, or do you want to do thumbs down, thumbs up?
Thumbs down, thumbs up.
Alright, which would you say for Bridgette?
Thumbs down.
I'm gonna say thumbs down as well. Just, I don't know, I didn't get a wow factor for that she's gonna do well.
Yeah.
And hopefully she surprises us, because I'd love
I
to
hope-
see all of them do well.
Hoping for a good season.
Yeah, let's hope that these returnees can spice it up too. So next we're going to move on to the first alphabetical male, which is Corey Brooks. He is 25 from Texas. He's into real estate and a baseball coach. He's an on and off fan he's been an on and off fan. He's single, like we said, lots of showmances maybe coming up this season. He wants to use his looks to be flirty, and he's going to do whatever he has to win. As we're saying, a lot of people that are really determined to win in this house. He lives with a bunch of his roommates who are all guys, so maybe a little bit of experience in a Big Brother scenario, kinda. He wants to be an all-around player. He thinks he's gonna be an all-around player, like in terms of social status and strength. He thinks his downfalls could be he's too nice, but he said it like he doesn't think he's like got one big downfall, but he thinks he's gonna slip up at least once.
Everyone's gonna.
Yeah, and then he said he'd rather lose and be loved. So yeah,
Coming from
liked
a
him.
guy that could be like since he's a baseball coach, I assume he's pretty athletic.
yeah, I think he. I liked him in his interview. I thought that he is someone who goes far in the game, like the kind of character type, archetype of player who does well in Big Brother and can go far. And he's definitely someone I see in a showmance. Like,
Oh, no doubt. No
yeah,
doubt.
I think he showmances. I don't know which female in particular.
That's a hard judgment.
Yeah, it's like I keep saying that like there's gonna be a lot of showmances based off all these people saying they're single. There's like only a few of them that are in relationships going into the house.
I mean, they're all fairly good looking.
But it's hard to pair like certain ones together. It's just how it's gonna shake up.
Nobody would predicted Hayden and Nicole or Liz or Austin. Or...
No, it's like you can't pair them easily. Who do you think is the girl he would hook up with the most?
Nose?
I'm saying I was thinking kind of Michelle because she's into that active lifestyle. She's into that active lifestyle like Corey is. I was thinking maybe that pairing. I don't see him. Yeah, I can see him with some of the other girls, but I just don't see him. I think she's the one that like is standing out the most as his potential showman's partner.
Well, for all we know, it could be another Clay and Shelley when he goes with Tiffany.
I don't think Tiffany's there. I didn't know. I don't know if she's LGBT.
Oh.
They didn't talk about that at all because we know Vanessa is. So far I think everyone in this cast is heterosexual with just the exception of Jozea. Unless he isn't, and I'm just profiling, which I apologize for.
Oh, wait, never mind.
What?
Never mind.
About what?
Since I didn't watch all the videos, I didn't realize that they were. So there's Vanessa and Tiffany.
Yeah. So next up, or not next up. So I think he's gonna do well. I think that like his archetype of player does well in the house of being like the nice guy who is athletic and someone who people can get along with. Is it winner material though, Brownage, in your opinion?
We don't know until we see him in the house, though.
That's true. It's really true because we're just looking at casting and all the
And in interviews, it's not really much to go off of.
Yeah, definitely not.
But from what I've seen and stuff, I'll give him a thumbs up.
I definitely think he makes jury, if anything. I think that I don't see this guy unless he does something really stupid and starts playing really awful. I see him making the jury phase really easily. Unless he just starts with a showmance and it's the only showmance in the house.
Or unless he's a hard ass and just like keeps winning challenges. Which is...
That's true. I don't think any of them were saying they're gonna just beast the challenges. But then again, no one says that. They just kind of.
It just happens. Yeah.
Yeah. What's it called? So so we're both saying thumbs up here?
Yep.
Alright, we're in consensus here. So one thing I'm gonna bring up before we move on to the next guy. So in Big Brother Canada, which I don't think you've seen, Big Brother Canada 3, there was an alliance devoted to a bunch of showmances, 3 showmances teaming up together. Do you think we could see that this season?
Or 3 what?
In Big Brother Canada 3, 3 showmances got together and created a super alliance in the house. Do you think we could see that this season?
It's possible, but
last season
probably
we
not likely.
Last season we kind of got that with Ostiz and is it Slay? I don't know. They came up with weird things, but we kind of saw that with those two. But it was always like a disconnect because like Vanessa was in the middle connecting those two, and I never really saw those two showmances work together perfectly.
Did that much?
Yeah. Next up, so we're gonna move on to the next person. So we got Bronte.
Ugh.
At first, I heard her voice and I was like, "Oh, she can be annoying," but I kind of warmed up to her as the video went on.
Yeah, I mean,
because she's a fan. She watched all of Big Brother 16 and half of Big Brother 17. I don't know if you call that a fan.
Not really, just a watch.
I mean, I think I kind of consider that fan. It's definitely not super fan. It's kind of fan. It means she knows the game, though, is the thing.
No, well, I don't do that, but... I mean,
Big Brother 16 had a great season to go off of.
She watched some pretty bad seasons.
Yeah, no, Big Brother 17 was okay.
It was alright. I mean, it was kind of good.
I'm not a fan of the winner or the final 3 by any... Actually, I'm not a big fan of, like, well, besides Johnny Mac and James, I'm not a fan of the final 8 at all. But she's single. She's there to get the money. She really wants the money. She wants to start other showmances, she said. I think that's exactly what she said. Is that what she said? I kind of
I'm not quite
drifted for a second there, and I thought I heard that. She's gonna try to hold her tongue, and when she needs to, because if she feels like she's going to be a pawn, she wants to avoid being a pawn. If she feels like she's getting to that spot, she's gonna try and take control. And she's a fan of planning ahead. And she doesn't want any Derek's or Vanessa's. So if either of those two return, they're gonna be screwed by her.
But like that's kind of hard to avoid though, because it just doesn't. You just don't know right off the bat. Just kind of.
Yeah, those two players were very good at just like you didn't know they were gonna be the big outlying strategist of the season.
Oh, but that's kind of because she was a poker player, but whatever.
Well, I don't think anyone knew that though.
Yeah. I'm just saying from as a viewer standpoint, kind of.
Yeah, I get that. And she would rather win and be hated, which I think is a better mentality for players, not as great a mentality for people I want to watch on TV, though.
Yeah. It's always nice to see them go out there hard and try and stuff.
Yeah, you want to see people make strategic moves, but you also want to be entertained by it.
And plus, she loves to solve math problems.
Yeah.
Statistics, so I feel like she can make some good moves if it helps her.
It'll help in the challenges, too.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, she's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, 100%. I don't see her as a winner, to be honest.
No.
I see her at most as a runner-up, but that's like a maybe. I I think that there's a huge chance that she can get into fights with people. I was getting that vibe. Because a lot of these people are like gonna go into their interviews and be like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna fight with anyone."
Well, that's what they all say that. They all say that for TV.
Yeah, they're gonna fight. There's gonna be fights. Trust us. That being said, do you think that she can perform well? I mean, she's attractive. She's single. Do you think that she can be a showman?
She's again statistics.
Do you think she wants a showman?
If it comes down, probably she could.
I don't know what guy would group up with her, but we can never guess, really.
It's kind of hard, and plus she did say statistically if it matches up, she'll probably go for it, right?
Yeah, just to have someone in your pocket, basically.
Yeah.
Someone you can work with well, and someone, like, you're a block of votes. That's what a showman is scary for to people. And yeah, it could be interesting. Yeah, so she said she wanted to avoid being a pawn. That's always a great mentality. Yeah, it worked out for Johnny Mac last season of getting on the block and just listening to people like, okay, I'll be your pawn. It helped him a lot, sometimes
being a pawn isn't a bad thing,
as long as you know that it can't backfire.
Yeah,
like just know that
you don't want to be a Victoria. You never want to be a Victoria.
You never want to be a pawn for an HOH that you know everyone could start hating randomly during the week, because like we see that in a lot of HOH runs where like you're gonna be my pawn, and then the HOH's reputation in the house bombs, and then suddenly
they got the pawn to the other guy.
Yeah, your pawns, like Becky last season, you know, her pawn Shelly versus Vanessa, Becky's reputation in the house kind of takes a dive, and Shelly's gone. And then you know Becky's out next week after a double eviction. So, you know, it's interesting to say the least. You know, being a pawn, you just got to know which HOH to be a pawn for. But I think, you know, you can get looked at as a target though if you make it.
It's also a thing if they bring back out of the blocks. I don't think they will.
They should not. If they do, people would get pissed.
Not for the third season in a row.
No.
It brought something interesting, yes, but
yeah. So what else is there? I'm trying to think. I was about to say something. I'm trying to think.
You just want to go to the thumbs up, thumbs down over there?
I mean, yeah. Let's go thumbs up, thumbs down. So, what are you saying?
I don't know. It's kind of hard.
She's the first iffy one, in my opinion.
Yeah, because she can either backfire completely or
go up pre-jury, or just make jury and go far.
Yeah, she's like the iffy one, just because of the way she is.
Yeah.
But I have high hopes. I'm going for a thumbs up. I have high hopes.
I'm gonna go thumbs up as well. Just, I think she can do good. Maybe we'll be wrong in about a month, or maybe even a week after the first episode.
I hope not. I think she's really gonna be.
Next one is the most interesting one. Cast. We have Glenn.
Ooh, I like this guy.
He is 50 years old, from New York, former police detective, current dog groomer.
Such an odd.
Police detective, very good career to have going into the house.
Yeah, I mean, work for Derek.
Interrogating. Yeah, but Derek was younger is the thing that we probably are going to get into.
Yeah.
His age is going to be a huge impairment. You know, age only really worked for people like Donnie and Jerry. Do you see him being a Donnie or a Jerry?
He's from New York, so I don't know. He's like, I'm not bashing on New Yorkers, but they're kind of more, you know, upbeat.
Yeah, he said his big downfall would be his mouth. His mouth.
I can see that happening.
Yeah, and that's not something I think we ever saw from Donnie or Jerry.
No, because Donnie was just a small town guy. It's kind of
hard. Let me actually Google right now how old Donnie was. Donnie Thompson. He was, let's see here, 42. So this guy is 8 years older. Let's see how old Jerry was. He was in his 70s, I think, right?
Yeah, definitely.
He was definitely born 1933 when he played at the age of 75. So not exactly in the middle of those two. He's closer to Donnie, but very far away from Jerry. The problem is that the age is like a huge thing, because like he's double the age of a lot of these people. I think the closest one he is to is that 30. Yeah, 32 Tiffany is the closest he is. That's 18 years. That's an entire adult. That's almost a whole me. I'm almost 18, and that's like an entire me in between their lifespans. Like, so, the thing we see is, like, these older contestants can either A, piss people off and get voted out early, or B, be really endearing to the house guests, and they'll just work with them. But we see with Donnie, he got targeted because he was so nice.
And he was kind of a power threat, too.
Yeah, like, Donnie would have won against anybody, even after week 1. After week 1, you could tell Donnie beats all these people if he makes it to the end. He just has to get there, and I don't see that
for old people, because it's just so far they can, like, push their body.
He said he is a huge fan. He does stuff with finance. He has a 9-year-old daughter, which could be a trouble for him. Because I think he's the only one in there with kids. I'm not sure.
He said just talking about her makes him cry, too.
Yeah, which... It's good because it'll give people, like...
show more soft side.
Soft side, sense of empathy from other contestants, possibly. He wants to go as far as he can. He's really into the game. And really wants to go as far as he possibly can. But, there's, like, a problem with that is that, like... this house is going to be tough for him to fit into, in my opinion.
Because he said he can fit in with everybody, which I don't know how. I just don't see it.
You know, he could surprise us, but, like...
He could.
You know, the way he's talking, I would totally... If we were getting a house full of 40 and other 50-year-olds, I could totally see him going far. But this is people half his age. People half his age.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be tough for him, and... but I think he has the strategic mind. Hopefully he can keep his mouth in check so that downfall doesn't come up. He is very confident in his abilities. He's already counting the money, basically.
I know, it's insane.
And
he said he'd do anything he can to win. Like, even though he's married, he would try to get a show, which is
it won't work. Like, there's a reason.
Young people.
I think the reason his wife said she was okay with him flirting is because I don't think he's gonna have anyone to flirt with.
Yeah.
I don't think she thought that, and even now we know he won't. He said he would win and be hated. Trend here with a lot of these house guests. And, you know, yeah, win and be hated. It's a good mentality for someone trying to win. I don't know if it's one for Glenn. I hope he does well, because he seems like a nice guy. But I don't know if he will.
I feel like Glenn's going to be one of those guys that the viewers love, but the players hate.
Yeah, totally. I don't think they'll hate him, though. I think they'll just
or vice versa. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. So, are you good with Glenn here, or... Do you want to do thumbs up, thumbs down?
No, I'm ready for the thumbs up.
Alright, I'm going to go thumbs down on him.
Mm-hmm.
The main reason is, I feel like he can get far, but I just... It's weird, I don't think he can get... I think he can get far dependent, like, be a Joe from season, 14? Yeah, 14.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Joe was. I don't feel like Googling. But I feel like he can be like that, especially since it's kind of the same premises of 4 returnees, 12 new players. And I think he can get far. It's just I don't see him winning. I don't see him being a crowd pleaser.
He was 41, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's close. But I'm gonna say that, like, for Joe, I'm saying thumbs down. Sorry, Glenn.
What?
Glenn, I'm going to say Glenn thumbs down because it's different from Bronte. Is it Bronte, right?
Yeah, Bronte, I don't know.
Bronte. It's different between her because I feel like she can be a strategic threat in the game, whereas I feel like he won't have the social standing to be able to make the strategic moves he wants to, and I feel like he might end up being a floater because of that, and that's why I'm saying thumbs down. What about you?
I'm saying I'm not agree with you there, just because the age, and he just won't be anywhere if this like crowd.
Yeah, if this was a little bit, even like, these are like mid to early 20s people, except for like the exception of like 2 or 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe he'll get along with some of the returning contestants, if they're a little bit older, you know, if for some reason...
If there's anything that helps them, it's definitely the returning players.
Yeah, because there's going to be... He's the type of person that the returning players would latch onto, possibly, because he's going to be someone who's looked at as older, and they can be, like, his...
But it's hard to, time will tell, because we don't know who the returnees are.
Yeah, so...
Unless he can somehow, like, find a way and use his police stuff for his advantage, I don't know.
Yeah, I hope he does well, but my official forecast is a thumbs down. Moving on, we have another female. We have Michelle, who, in my opinion, is the prettiest one of the entire cast. So let me find my notes on Michelle here. Where did I put them? Oh, here they are. Okay. So she's 23 from Michigan. She's a nutritionist, which is good because I'm sure she'll hate the slop. Let's see. So she wants to make cool things out of the slop, which will be interesting to see. Something to get onto with the whole slop thing with the nutritionist. Can we actually have competitions come back this season?
I would like that because they just bring a whole new aspect.
Have-nots,
and it gives you something to watch. It's not like just filler.
Yeah, have-nots are just like not like the have-not competitions. It's something to watch. It's a competition that we get on nomination night. In contrast to seeing Battle of the Block be rushed in at the end of the fucking episode after nominations. And have-nots were just useless last season. They have this whole... Last season, they made this whole schedule of, okay, I'll be a have-not this week. The reason we want to see have-nots is to see the drama behind, like, I have to be a have-not a 4th week in a row, which I don't think has ever happened. But I think the most is Ian 3 weeks in a row.
Plus, I find the have-not competitions entertaining, just because of how the competitions are.
Yeah, especially, like, the first one, on nomination... the first nomination episode, you know, it's really entertaining to see these people get their first look at the slop and know they're going to be the first ones to eat it this season. But just don't stop doing it where the players choose. Like, do interesting ways that we can see it. This most recent season of Big Brother Canada 4 that happened a couple months ago, one week they had it where everyone had this bucket that was empty at the start with their name in front of it, and one by one the house guests would come down. No one would be watching except for the live feed viewers, and they get to pour a bucket of slop into any bucket they wanted. And that's how they chose how. And like you see people, you get to really see the dynamics of the house because someone was actually putting slop in the bucket of their allies because they just were getting fed up with them, and that's interesting to see. You know, make have-nots interesting. Anyways, on to Michelle. So Michelle, she's gonna have no problem lying. She wants to lie and manipulate. She's a super fan. She said a problem would be freaking out in the house, and just getting overly excited, super fan style of just getting really excited to be there, and like people getting worried about you as a huge player. And she said she'd rather win and be hated, which is interesting because I thought a super fan would be more lose and be loved.
Yeah.
I think she's like the only person I would call a super fan on here. I'm not sure. I think most of them... well, Glenn's a super fan, I think. Not like super, but like just he's a huge fan.
Yeah.
Super fans are like people who go on and like will research everything, watch the live feeds constantly.
And Ian.
Yeah, like that, yeah. So, Michelle, I think she can do well. She's pretty. I think she can get a showmance. I don't know. She was like one of the only people I don't think was asked if she was single. If not, I wasn't paying enough attention.
She's 23. I'd say she probably is.
She's probably single. I could see her. I don't know. Like we said earlier that she might hook up with Corey. That's a possibility. I don't know if we see that. Do you see it, her being a showmance person? Because she's a super fan, so showmances can normally be the enders of people's games. I don't know if a super fan be into that idea of like letting your game get caught up like that. Unless it was like strategically, I'm going to like a manipulation. Unless it helped her strategically in the long run, probably. Yeah, like a manipulation type thing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna make this person think I care about them and then cut them. You know, like not a real showmance, but like a fake one.
A TV showmance.
Yeah, an actual showmance, not something that could ever go on after the house. I see her going far, personally. I think that she's smart. I think that if she's a real gonna bring up the nutrition stuff all the time, then maybe she gets a little
I,
annoying
for
to the
one,
house guests.
like her because she goes on Reddit, so.
Yeah, that was part of her thing on the wiki.
Mhm.
I think she goes far. Yeah, there weren't too much information. It was like kind of the same stuff being repeated over and over. So I don't have too much notes on her. But so Brownage, thumbs up or thumbs down? Michelle.
I'm not quite sure.
I'm gonna say thumbs up. That's just my gut feeling, personally.
It can go either way. I mean, I don't really know much about her and stuff, so.
She was a lot of nutrition talk and being a super fan. And then the win and be hated motto is being very much repeated this season. So, gut feeling, Brownage. What is it?
Super fan. I don't know. I feel like they seem to always go far, so I'm just gonna go thumbs up for that.
All right.
They're super fan.
So we've agreed on everyone so far.
So far, it's gonna change probably soon.
Next up, we have Jozea.
Well, he didn't apply, didn't he?
25 from California, makeup artist. He's only seen a few recent seasons. He's single, which I don't think there's anyone else who's LGBT in here.
Yeah.
He's true to himself and knows his strategy. He had no idea what his weakness would be, and he wants to be a Spartan with the competitions and win and be hated. So, do you think he could do well? We see the gay guy every season, you know, because Big Brother has to staple one in every single season. Do you see him being one of the really liked gay guys, or one of the not really fitting in with the house gay guys?
Oh, I don't want to be like bashing them, but it's like you have to see them because I don't want to judge like that, you know.
Well, like it's like we're following the principle, the precedent of like.
And I thought I saw somewhere that
even Frankie, who was hated by the audience, did well in the house. You know, and then Jason fit in pretty well, except he was just the strategic threat on the other side that the Sixth Sense had to eliminate. So
I thought I saw somewhere that he didn't actually apply. He was actually like
recruited.
Yeah.
I feel like a couple of these people might have been recruited. A lot of people get recruited.
I read it somewhere. I don't know where. I forget where I saw it. But.
Yeah, I think Jozea can do well. I think that he's someone who can go far. Maybe I don't think he goes. I think he's mid-jury or early jury to mid-jury. I don't see him being in the final 7. Or not the final 6. I just don't see him getting that far. That's just a gut feeling for him. I think that he can do well in this. I think he can make friends, but I don't know if he can go the distance. What about you, Brownage? What's your opinion?
I don't know much about this guy, but I don't know.
Alright, I guess we don't have a lot of things to talk about, because I just feel like he is someone who's smart, but, what's it called? I feel like he's someone who's smart, someone who's strategic, and social, but I feel like he was talking about being a Spartan in the challenges, so that could really...
So he's gonna, like, try. And I've read somewhere he wants to be like a Frankie.
Yeah, people like that, because Big Brother 16 was, like, an outlier, because, like, it was Caleb, Derek, Cody, and Frankie, who, if you look at, there was, like, 17 HOHs that whole season, full HOHs, not including the Dethrone Battle of the Block. They carried out 14 of those 17 HOHs. Those 4 players alone. So, it's really hard to say whether, because, like, in that season, no one got targeted because it's just those 4 guys, and all 4 of them made the final 5. You know, those 4 guys always were carrying the HOHs, so...
Yeah, here, he's a Frankie Grande fan, so, yeah. If he's anything like him, he's gonna...
I hope not, because everyone hated Frankie.
I hate Frankie.
And if Frankie's back this season, I really hope he goes out early.
Oh, if Frankie's back, those 2 are hooking up. But, like, not like relationship-wise or showman's-wise, I mean, like, like, game-wise.
Yeah. So, looking forward to seeing Jozea. What do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs down. If he's a Frankie Grande fan and wants to be like him, he won't make it.
Yeah, thumbs down. He can get far, but I don't think he can be a huge...
Because people will understand soon that what he's trying to mimic his game off of.
Yeah, I don't think
you really
he'll
shouldn't.
mimic
You
it,
come in with your own game, don't mimic.
I don't think he's mimicking. I think he's just a fan.
I mean, he wants to be like kind of like.
Yeah,
like,
I guess
have
that's
like
true.
his own way.
I see what you're saying. So next up we have Natalie, who is her picture. She's beautiful, but she's like, what's it called? I'm trying to think of the word. Her face like kind of looks a little plasticky for some reason from these pictures.
Yeah.
Like, she's not. If you watch the video, it's nothing like that. But it's funny, these pictures. So she's 26 from New Jersey. It's funny because when I saw her picture, I was like, this is a New Jersey girl, and then I found out it was. So yay, Adam. She's originally from Venezuela, and she is a nonprofit event coordinator. She loves pink glitter. She's a semi fan. I said semi because like she's only watched a few seasons. She wants to make an all-girl alliance, but hopes that she can keep it not catty, in her words. She wants to be able to like identify the dynamics of the house, which I think it's something good for a house guest to be saying, but we have to see it in practice first. She's single, so showmance is a possibility. I feel like she's one of the girls who will go for a showmance. And then she said her downfalls would be no patience, and super girly. She's fit, so she might win a bunch of challenges, and she's energetic, and she really couldn't choose between be loved and be hated by the audience. Because she wants to win, but she also wants to be loved, and it's a really tough choice for her. What do you think about her? Do you think she can go far?
Well, we're reading here, it says she will fake everyone out with her kindness and act very innocent and stay low for the first week and won't win the first challenge. I mean, that's what everyone wants to do.
Yeah.
I mean, she wants to show that she's a powerful force not to be messed with, which will hurt her, because you don't want to be this powerful.
Yeah, that's something you always want to avoid. The players, something that gets talked about a lot, I watch Rob as a podcast, they talk a lot about, in Big Brother, the first month, you want to just go to sleep and not play the game too hard, just make these social relationships, and then in the last 2 months, August and September,
She's gotta be in her hard ass.
Or second half of a little bit of July, August, and then September, you want to actually be playing the game. You just want to get to that jury phase. But the problem is that we saw last season, Johnny Mac did that, and he just had trouble making an alliance. We see him trying to make this powerhouse alliance in like week 8 or like 7 or 8, where like there's like 10 people left, and like they've all got their little plans set. And so he was able to get there. It just he wasn't able to like maneuver after a while. He just got really caught up in, you know, we see these players who try really hard at the start. They go out early. You know, the showmance of Shelly and Clay, they go out in weeks 6 and 7 respectively, or Clay and Shelly respectively. Yeah, whatever. So I think I see her going far. When I first read Venezuela, I was like, if she has an accent, it's going to be trouble, but she doesn't.
Also, she's never lived with men, not even her father.
Oh,
so
wow.
This is going to be hard for her.
Oh, I didn't read that.
Probably living there in the house.
That's interesting.
So that's probably why she wants to have it all girl line. She probably wants to get the guys out, like, well, maybe like that. I don't know. I have no clue.
Actually, bringing that up, so we've seen, like, the last couple seasons, it's like, last season is like an outlier, but like season 16, we see a lot. Like 4 out of 5 of the pre-jurors are women. Season 15, we see 4 out of 5 of the pre-jurors are men. And how do you think that affects dynamics to have a lot of this one gender go out early?
It changes the tempo, obviously, because if they're all guys and they're all like physically like manhandles and they're manhandling each other, it's kind of like eh.
Yeah,
I like the diversity when it comes to like into the jury phase.
Yeah, that's totally true.
Because you don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, we could totally see that.
And also, she wants to start an all-girl alliance. How well do they actually work out, though?
We've never seen a successful all-female alliance in Big Brother. Just like in Survivor, we've never seen a really successful all-male alliance. You know, we'll see just how well that goes, really. So, I don't see... Big Brother Canada 2, which I think you watched some of, they had a female alliance that absolutely imploded upon itself. Because girls just want to get girls out, and that's just kind of the natural order. This last season, Big
Yeah,
Brother
that's why-
Canada 4.
Yeah, because a girl wants to win, but you can't. It's like you have to get out the rest of the girls
Yeah,
to win.
Big Brother Canada 4, they had a really interesting cast because it was 5 females go out in a row to start the game.
Oh, that's just horrible.
Yeah, it's amazing how like these girls went after each other very quickly. Official prediction: thumbs down, thumbs up, Brownage.
Thumbs down. I don't. This whole
First disagreement. I'm saying thumbs up.
This whole.
I think she
alliance
is
not going to do anything.
I think if she can steer away from that a little bit or keep it together, I'd love to see a successful all-female alliance because we've seen it work out well in Survivor. I think if she doesn't take the fall for it, because we see players that like create these all-gender alliances and then get completely, but then if they fall apart, they get destroyed for it. Like Nick Uhas in season 15, he created an all-male alliance, and then when it imploded in week 2, he's the first one to go home. So I can definitely see why you say thumbs down. I'm saying thumbs up just because I think she's going to be a strategic threat.
But she wants to be a powerful force. No, that's just. I'm still on.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see who's right.
You don't know until we get there. So.
Yeah. Next up we have Paul, whose laugh is just like mine, very loud. He had a very loud laugh in his video. I don't know if you watched it. He had fun talking to Jeff Schroeder. I was kind of like getting tired of watching the videos because I watched all 12 in a row.
I watched 6 and I got.
And was taking notes the entire time. Like, here's some of my notes, guys. So what's it called? He's 23 from California, clothing designer. He wants to ruffle feathers, I think is what he said. He's single. He's crazy, and he doesn't care about how likable he is to the audience. He's just going to do what he can, which I think is a really redeeming quality. Do you see him fitting in with the house, though?
He could. It's just hard to.
Is he going to be a bearded guy that's loved or a bearded guy who's hated? Is the question, because we've seen both.
Who's the hated again?
Hmm?
The hated one?
I mean, Spencer was, like, liked by the audience, but I don't think in the house he was too loved.
I like Spencer. I don't know. I like Spencer.
I don't. Yeah, but like the house is like what we're talking here. Like,
yeah,
do you think
but
the house would love him?
I don't know. I mean, it's like
this last season of Big Brother Canada 4, which I keep referring to that because it's basically like U.S. except with Canada. They had Dallas, who was very much. He was disliked by a lot of his house guests up until the end. The viewers started liking him, but outside of that,
I don't think the beard should really matter much. I mean, it kind of gives a vibe that he's probably not really gonna, like, he's gonna be like, nah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It gives off that, I don't know why, but it gives off that, like, type of vibe. Like,
I think it gives off a friendly vibe most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, the giant beard is just a very friendly vibe, I feel like. And it can. He said he would shave it to win, if he could, so I think that's a good thing.
And he says he's confident that he can be sneaky and be observant around the house, and use people's weaknesses against them. So I think I like
Paul too. I think he can do well. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. He's young. He has a beard. He wants to be observant. He doesn't want to go in and try like win every competition and stuff. It's like
I have two gut feelings. I feel like he can do good, and I feel like the house can love him. But I just have this strange feeling he goes out pre-merge, or sorry, pre-jury.
Oh yeah, I mean it could go either way. I mean,
I just have the strange feeling. I'm gonna say thumbs down. Boom, boom, boom.
That observant thing could also like backfire because it could just be looked at as a floater in a way.
Yeah. So next up we have Tiffany. She is the first of the two to have something special about them. She is Vanessa Russo's sister, which I don't think is threatening at all. I honestly don't care. I think that whether you're siblings or not does not make it, that being good at Big Brother is not genetic.
If she doesn't say anything, people are. I mean, they look similar. I will say that.
They sound similar too. They sound very similar. She is a fan. Her favorite season. She said she didn't say she had a favorite, but she was like the season she likes a lot are 10, 12, and 13. She has her sister Vanessa. She wants to play less emotional than Vanessa. She said they talked about that, and Vanessa really regretted that. And she says she's really competitive though, and it's gonna be hard for her to throw competitions, which is something that Vanessa I think struggled with. She won a lot of competitions and was like, it worked out for Vanessa that it worked out for her to like start playing the game really hard from week like 3 basically onwards. But like, I don't think it's a very good strategy overall, and I think like 90% of the time, players who play like that get screwed.
Okay. If people find out that she's related to Vanessa and she plays like Vanessa, she will go out quickly.
Like, I have the philosophy that like
Unless they're
being
all
good at
stupid and stuff.
being good at reality TV shows, in my opinion, isn't genetic. I don't think she's going.
Well, no, I'm just saying if she does end up, I'm not saying she will. If she does end up playing like Vanessa,
Yeah.
and being just,
I think the
like,
Vanessa game is a lot more obvious now than it was seasons ago, because Vanessa was able just to do whatever she could, and then the problem was with Vanessa is like there was never a good time to take her out. She always had huge threats in the game, like Shelly and Clay and the Oz twins. You know, those were always huge blocks of people that you had to take out before you could get to Vanessa, and she aligned herself very perfectly with those 5 people who would always be bigger targets than her, even though she's the clear best strategist of them all. It's just, you can't leave a block of people in too long.
Competition-wise, it's like...
You can't leave a block of people in too long, and that's what they did last season, and like, you have this block of 3 people in the final 6. How do you let that happen? Like, especially when Austin won 1 HOH, fucking... Julia didn't win a single HOH, and Liz only won 2. Like, how do you let someone win this many HOHs?
Insane.
Like, how do you let them win only 3 HOHs and get to the final 6 as a block of 3? No sense whatsoever.
I'm not quite sure she will be like Vanessa, though, just because she's a high school teacher. She doesn't have, like, the...
Yeah, I think that... I like Tiffany much more than I liked Vanessa. I hoped that she doesn't play anything like Vanessa, because I was really hopeful that they would not do another Vanessa season. What's it called? So, thumbs up or thumbs down for Tiffany?
Thumbs up.
I'm saying thumbs up as well. I think she can go far. Unless her perception of Vanessa goes south, but the problem is that there's going to be returnees in there with her. So I think that
so they're going to focus on, if the returnees aren't coaches and they're returnees, they're going to
be
targets.
Yeah, if people have the same philosophy of me of not thinking that being related to someone helps you,
and she can plan to avoid all the paranoia that Vanessa had, then she has a clear shot.
Yeah. And also, as long as there's no like MVP style twist where like fan favorites are gonna get like,
well, that'll be tough because there's another one.
Is there?
I mean, like that's related, so it's like...
Oh yeah. He's gonna be. Well, we can actually talk about him now. So, Paulie here sounds exactly like Cody. Almost looks exactly like Cody.
I know. I'm like, wait a minute. This isn't like...
Give him black hair and he's Cody.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we should color his hair right now, and he almost is Cody. And he told us in the video that he has a Calafiore Brothers tattoo. So
he's gonna be found out quickly.
He's going in and saying it straight up.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah.
Which I think is the smart move if you have a tattoo.
It's a smart move anyway, because you just don't want people to find out later, like, wow, he's been lying to us this whole time. Can't we really trust him?
Yeah, we saw in Big Brother 14, Willie went in and tried to pretend he wasn't related to Russell Hantz, and then immediately
it just doesn't give up because they'll be like, oh, they're just trying to live like their relative. It's like, oh, I like the idea of saying it right off the bat better.
Yeah, me too. I think Tiffany, going back on her, she was kind of waited a little bit before she said it. She didn't come out and say it. Like, that was the first thing they talked about with Paulie. She started talking about other things a little bit before they got into the Vanessa stuff. So, I think Paulie's... he's from New Jersey. He's 27. One of the older house guests. It's sad that we're saying 27 is one of the older house guests. He's a DJ.
I hate that.
He's a DJ. He wants to be honest about his brother. He has the tattoo, so he has to be honest. Which is good because you don't want people asking questions. He was joking about it, like if people ask about the thing. I just loved Cody so much that I got a tattoo about it. He wants to play a social game like Cody because he really loved Cody's social game. Like Cody went, I think, till when Zach was nominated. Week 8 was when Zach went out. Cody went till week 8 without getting nominated once, which in a season in which 4 to 5 people are getting nominated per week, it's pretty good.
That's impressive.
Yeah, to make it that far without getting nominated. Especially since he only got nominated. I think they did like this candy draw thing that week. Like, do you remember? It's like the different color M&Ms, and they're gonna pick 4 out, and those are the people going up.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And like that, like Derek, I think was one of the HOHs, so he got to avoid that. And Zach got backdoored because he was one of the people who didn't get to pick it. And so he wants to. One of the things that kind of red flagged me is that he wants to make it to the end with a bunch of strong people to make it a battle of the strong. He wants 6 people at the end that are really good at the game, and just because he wants to beat the best. Which is a red flag because, like, it's going to be hard to win that way.
It can backfire completely.
Yeah, it's hard to win that way, but it's also great if you want to get there. Like, if you're just trying to take out players because you can, and not because they're a huge threat to your game, then, well, not a huge threat to your game in particular, but a huge threat to win, then maybe it'll be simpler for you, because, you know, if Vanessa had someone who's, like, wants to take her to the end, then she'll work with him. Like, and he obviously wants to win really bad, just to, like, because he was asked about if he came in runner-up and got 50 grand.
He'd not be satisfied.
Yeah, he didn't want to be set. He would not any win and be hated.
Well, if he can take Cody's game and change stuff, like, I don't know how much he wants to change it, but like,
he wants the social game to stay the same. I don't remember Cody's physical game being that great. I think he won 3 HOHs.
And he won a good amount of POVs too.
Yeah.
If he can change some stuff, like
he wants to also take strong people to the end, like Frankie, Caleb, and Derek, stuff like that. Like Victoria obviously wouldn't be someone he would want to bring to the end. It's funny how people like target Victoria as being like the person that Cody should have taken to the end, and he doesn't even want her to be there.
But he wouldn't have won either way. He was a runner, by the way.
So yeah, I think he can do well. Are you gonna say thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm gonna say thumbs up.
I say thumbs up as well. I just don't see a situation unless he starts acting like a jackass in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you're trying to play like Cody and you do it well, you're gonna make it far.
And the fact that he's saying it right off the bat, I think, will help him more.
Yeah. So final female, we have. Man, I have the video up. Let me see.
Zakiyah.
Wait, what?
Wait, who is it? Zakiyah, right?
Zakiyah.
Zakiyah.
Say it. Zakiyah?
I think it's Zakiyah.
I
think that's how I pronounce
they said it's been an hour since I watched the video now.
Zakiyah, I don't know.
Zakiyah? We're gonna say Zakiyah. Final female, 24, North Carolina, preschool teacher. She's like the only one who's straight up said. Like the others were like, yeah, I'll take a showmance if it helps me. She just straight up said she wants a showmance. She's a super fan, one of the very few on this season who are just straight up super fans. She's been a fan since season 3. She's single, obviously, with the showmance. She really wants to showmance the win and be hated. She's like, this season's full of people who really want to win, which it should make for some great TV and great strategy. And she will do anything such as lie and manipulate. What's your forecast on her, Brownage, so far?
She's a preschool teacher. Now that's everyone's go-to live and occupation.
Oh my god, isn't that what Devon said?
Yeah. Now I feel like people are going to start questioning her occupation and stuff if she's, I don't know. Not that that's a huge deal, but I mean, like, if you go past the years, it's always like kindergarten, preschool. There's always the lies of occupations.
Yeah.
Then people start to worry, then people will be like, is she really what says she is and stuff? It's...
Yeah, her occupation could be a complete, because, like, you're coming off of Devon. Devon came on and said that, and, you know, she, you know, that was just last season, and Devon was a huge standout from that season. That's why people are forecasting her to return. So that could be a thing in people's minds, and people might distrust her because of that. I don't think it's gonna happen, but maybe. It may be the super fans who say it, but
yeah,
I think she can do well. I think
that's her favorite player is Jordan because she's innocent and sweet like herself.
Yeah, that's good. Because she said that during the thing. It's like she pointed at Def's ring, was like, that's what I want from this show. And if to play a Jordan game, I mean, it won't be the most likable or happy final 3 for the fans, but it can get you a win. Except Jordan was almost evicted like 3 times.
Because of Jeff.
Yeah, I mean. So anyways, Zakiyah, hopefully she does well. I think that there were some people that were saying the whole showmance thing could send her out really early, but most of the time in showmance the guy goes out early. We saw it in Clay, we saw it in Austin, so it could help her.
Jeff and Jordan.
Yeah,
Brendan and Rachel.
Brennan and Rachel, like season 12, 13. Not
Well,
season
actually, no,
12.
Rachel won first, didn't she?
Well,
No.
that's because she was just horrible at the social game in 12.
Yeah.
But yeah, so official forecast Brownage.
Thumbs down.
I'm gonna say thumbs up. I feel like the super fan status is gonna help her out. And
She's looking for a show, man. It's not
Yeah.
gonna help her.
So, let's move on to our final house guest, Victor. What do you think so far of Victor?
I like Victor.
I liked Victor too. I felt like I saw some people yesterday. I didn't look at the cast yesterday. I was like, oh, I'll watch the videos tomorrow. I didn't feel like watching it yesterday, but someone said in one of the chats I was in that he looks like he was going to be a douche, and I didn't get that vibe.
No,
I didn't get it at all. I thought that he was really nice. He's a fan. He straight up said he's not a super fan, which I think is really likable in a person to just not be lying about that or lying to themselves with the camera about being a super fan. I think Clay said that after watching one season and people fucking like threw fire at him. He was like, I'm a super fan, I watched one season.
He has Jen's last name from BB14. She's from New York and he's from LA, I'm just saying. It's probably just a coincidence. But if that's like Hayze, if he does...
Is LA Louisiana or Los Angeles?
LA. No, wait. I think that's... No, it's Louisiana.
Yeah. I thought I was going to say Louisiana.
Because it'd be Los Angeles.
25. I think this guy is like the one who screams to me like he's going to be in a showman's.
No, I don't see that from him, though.
Really? I felt like he is the most likely to be in a showman's out of all of them. I have a lot of news because they talked about a lot of things in his interview. I thought it was one of the best interviews, in terms of getting to see a player and what they're gonna do. He obviously is gonna be physical. I don't think he's gonna. He said his attribute of being physical is gonna help him, but he said his job as a gym manager, he has to manage all different personalities and stuff of that nature. So he said that could help him in the house. Big Brother's a number game, and he went into business school, so that could help him. He said he's a triple threat, which I think is something good for a player to like, if he can use it right, because normally you can get completely targeted out early if you're a triple threat, or you could go really far as a triple threat. That being said, he's single, obviously showmans could happen. He said his number one, he's the only one who like straight up said, this type of challenge will screw me, and he said endurance. Which is something good, that he's like owning up that he doesn't think he'll be good in endurance challenges, which kind of sucks. Which means his prime time to be in HOH would be in the early stages of the game, because we get to the jury phase, and almost all of those challenges at the beginning of the jury phase are all endurance challenges. We saw it last season. So I think it's bad to be bad at endurance challenges, but to be able to go to the audience and say that you're gonna be bad at something is really good trait to have. And he said he really wants to be nice to people and be liked in the house, which is something good to manage. And he'd love to. He said he'd choose love and lose in the question. So I think Victor goes far. I think that there is potential that he gets targeted for being a triple threat. We saw that in Jace last season, except Jace wasn't great at the social game. But Jace got targeted for being thought to be good at the social game and physical and strategic. So I could see Victor going out first, but I think he can go far if he can hook up with the right people.
Victor's worried about not being in the know, like not knowing some stuff.
He doesn't want to sleep. He doesn't want to go to bed for a month. So I think he could do good.
I'm saying, are we going to thumbs up himself?
Yeah, let's wrap this up. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up. I really like this guy. He gives off a good vibe, I feel like.
I'm going to say a thumbs up too. So, that being said, let's move on to choosing. So, what do you want to do? We could choose winner pick right now. So what do you want to do? Winner pick?
Sure.
All right. So let's do winner picks right now. Let's start with yours.
Alright, I mean, we just talked about it. I have to go with Victor. I really like this
You're saying Victor as your winner pick.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of hard. I mean...
I feel like you can get targeted like Jace, though, at the beginning of last season. That was like...
You know what? No, I'm not going to go with it. I'm gonna go with Paul.
Paul.
Mhm.
Paul's your winner pick.
Yep.
That's interesting because I said thumbs down. So, Paul is Brownage's official winner pick for the season. And my official winner pick. This is tough.
This is a tough cast, I feel.
Because I was gonna go Victor, but then I started thinking about it, and the Jace possibility could happen.
Yeah.
Let's see, I like Paulie, but I don't. I like Paulie. I think he can go far. It's tough because you feel like you have to choose a male because we've had 4 male winners in a row.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Michelle as my winner.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick her. I feel like she's gonna be likable in the house, in semi-strategic. I see her as as a female winner, and we haven't had one in 5 years, but I think she can be it.
Okay.
All right. That is the end of this cast preview for us. So thank you to all of you who watched. All the Americanisms that are happening. And this was an hour and 5 minutes. Ron, do you want to do like stuff like this throughout the season of like weekly recaps, or do you want to do like after every episode or so?
Do weekly recaps.
Weekly recaps, alright. So anyways, it's gonna be it for us. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.